Bonsoir, good evening. I'm nervous like hell, just like in a pregame match. Lost control of all my emotions, of all my body fluids. And from the day one that I started playing football, I was always told, get the first hit in and you're fine. Well, there won't be any hitting here unless Ace Powell would come up and we'd go one-on-one. But my body is saying, no, don't do that. And I was even told that this military arsenal in the back at one point will shoot me down. I've got 8 minutes to get my speech in, and at the 8-minute mark, it's going to shoot you. Well, I guess it could be messy up here. So I decided to tell my wife, Margaret, at the 5-minute mark, I'm still babbling around. Just come and get me and bring me to my chair. And she said she would do that. But saying that, I'm extremely honored, extremely happy to represent the GGs, and I'm even surprised. And I have to say why I'm surprised. Surprised tonight, seeing this, didn't expect it, seeing the hall, seeing everything that was put together. But I was surprised when I got a call back in, I think it was October, from Martin Sévigny. And there he is, he's asking me a question about my playing days. I couldn't think of anything other than the fact that I knew that I had played with the GGs. So I'm telling him, I said, I can't remember those things, Martin. It's been 50 years. 50 years this year. So I had the feeling that Martin knew more about me than I did about myself. And I told him, I said, you really want to do that? He said, you linemen, you're all the same. No glory. Well, that's the way we are. A proud GG lineman is not looking for any glory. He's looking to get the hit and get the touchdown or the winning situation in. So I'm really happy to be here, and a special thank you to Martin that thought I was worthy to present my name to the selecting committee. I have to say also, I have to thank Pierre Guindon. He was my mentor when I started high school in grade 9. And by golly, I followed him as far as I could. And I stopped when he went in law school. That wasn't for me. So, that said, we never give any recognition to our high school coaches, in my case anyway. And they're the one that planted the seeds, because when I started high school in grade 9 at Collège Classique de Cornwall, because I'm a Francophone from Cornwall, now a Francophone from Sudbury, I always thought that coaches would motivate you, and they did, because hockey was only in my head. I wanted to be the next Jean Béliveau. I had the first name, had the size, maybe a little bit too much on the size, but I realized that I wasn't going to be the next Jean Béliveau. And football came around and took my life right off my feet. It became so important for me to play football, so in grade 9, they were starting a junior football program at the school, and as soon as the coach saw me in the hallway, he says, I want you at the practice tonight. Okay. You never say no. So my first coach was Bernard Charbonneau. He was a university student at the college. In grade 10, we joined a new league. The Francophone from Quebec will know what I'm talking about. We joined la Ligue Intercollégiale du Québec. We were the only school or college outside the province of Quebec. So every second weekend, we were down to Montreal area playing games. Fantastic. We had a great time. But that season, the first season, Gilles Léger took over the team. And Gilles Léger was a three-sport athlete. He had a scholarship at Tulsa University. He played semi-pro hockey. He played semi-pro football. And he coached basketball and also being a player. So Gilles Léger brought us to the final in a game that we did win. We beat the team that beat us during the season. In a televised game in Joliette, Quebec. It was fantastic. The French TV were always saying, well, Quebec, Mont-Saint-Louis is playing the English guys from Ontario. We did not have one Anglophone on the team. So on the line, we were talking in English because most of the guys playing in front of us didn't understand what we were saying. So at the end, when we shook hands and we said, bonne partie, belle joute, how come you guys speak French? He says, we're all francophones. So it was a good season that year. Pierre Guindon was on the team. Jean Gouin, who was sitting at my table, was in another division, and he played in that same league. And also you have to understand here that Gilles Léger was just a stepping stone when he started coaching at Collège Classique de Cornwall, because he went on to coach college hockey at Saint-Evex. He coached in the WHA with the Toronto Toros. He went out and was the assistant general manager of the Québec Nordique. And during his time with the Québec Nordique, he was responsible in getting the Stastny brothers over to Canada. He was the main guy that got them here. And he wrote a book on that when he got the three Stastny brothers, a book in French and a book in English. And Gilles always put, some reference of his background in Cornwall. And there's a picture in his book, Pierre and I, the year we won the Junior B hockey title in Cornwall. And who's the MVP? Pierre Guindon. Well, he was a big guy. He covered the whole net. Nothing was getting by. So Pierre was named the MVP of that game. But the year we won the Ligue intercollégiale du Québec, the MVP of that game was none other than my grade 9 coach, Bernard Charbonneau. He could have played more serious football because he was a great, great athlete. In grade 12, Gilles Léger moved on to other stuff, and Harvey Provost took over the team. Harvey had a tryout with the Ottawa Rough Riders, played semi-pro football in Messina, New York. And also, he ran restaurant, diner type of establishment in Cornwall. And in the summer, I would go back and visit Harvey, and we'd talk about football in Cornwall, football in Ottawa, what was going on. He would always serve me apple pie and ice cream. Well, for a big guy, apple pie and ice cream, I'll go back. So every summer, I would go back and chat with Harvey. There's the apple pie coming out with the ice cream. So we had a good time. Then I said, it's time to move on. Let's go to University of Ottawa because I wanted to continue my studies in French and I wanted to play football at the same time. So Matt Anthony came down to Cornwall. He took the time to come to speak to me in Cornwall, accompanied by my dear friend Pierre Guindon. But I didn't tell him I was coming to Ottawa U anyway. But it was a good chat because Matt was an iconic coach, a coach that was a father figure to all the ball players. And I'll leave it at that because there's a lot been said about Matt, and it's all true. He was a really good person. But I have to mention a 1970 club under Bob Obilovich, our assistants Bill Sikorsky, Jim Kane, Jim Conroy. What a year. We didn't win, but we got to the College Bowl, which is now known as the Vanier Cup. But we got there not because we were that good, but because we had the coaching. We had so much confidence in those guys to motivate us, get us refocused, and that's what they did. They told us to take care of business and take care of all details on the field. So we had a very good year compared to 1969, in which we had the same team basically, and it was an awful year, terrible, lost the Panda. And if there's one game you can't lose a year, it's the Panda game. But this year, when I found out that they won the Panda game back, it was nice. I felt at ease. I felt happy. and at least they were playing for a beautiful trophy. We were playing for a lousy, dirty teddy bear. And we would have done anything to bring that teddy bear to our dressing room. Bob McCullough, who's sitting here, he doesn't know all those things, but he was the guardian of that panda. And we could never see it until he brought it in. And he would hide it from us. He doesn't know that. But we tried to steal the panda from him. No way. He kept that panda from year to year to year until we would lose it, obviously. So, in my last year under Don Gilbert, from day one at training camp, I knew it was going to be a good year. You get these vibes as an older athlete, and Don had an approach that was different. And we had so many good rookies that year in '71. I said, something good has to happen. But the 1971 team was really, really good, probably better than the 1970 team, because we were undefeated. We lost the Yates Cup, not because we went on a good record, but we fell flat. On game day, if you don't perform, there's no good results. There's one shot at it, take it, make sure you make it good. So that year we fell short at the Yates Cup, but down the line I knew that they would probably win something, and they did. They won the Vanier Cup later on. So to the coaches, thank you. I do respect you all. I will remember you for the rest of my days, and now I have to speak in French. Je m'en voudrais de ne pas vous adresser la parole en français parce que l'Université d'Ottawa a joué un rôle dominant dans ma vie professionnelle et personnelle. J'ai été capable de suivre tous mes cours en français pendant mes 3 diplômes, si vous voulez appeler ça, mes 3 bacs. Puis en plus de ça, le fait que je pouvais jouer au football et combiner mes études, c'était idéal pour moi. C'est ça que je voulais. Je voulais être aux études le jour, puis être sur le champ de football le soir, puis être sur le champ de football en fin de semaine. Alors, ça a été une bonne occasion pour moi à l'Université d'Ottawa de me développer. Mais sur le côté social, qui est probablement plus important que le côté professionnel, c'est ici à l'Université d'Ottawa que j'ai rencontré mon épouse, Margaret Varota. Pour les plus vieux qui se rappellent, dans sa famille, il y avait le restaurant Imbro's Italian Restaurant on Rideau Street. Mais ce n'est pas là que j'ai rencontré Margaret. Je l'ai rencontrée à la bibliothèque de la Faculté des Arts, et notre première sortie a eu lieu, que moi j'ai toujours qualifié un autre bâtiment de l'Université d'Ottawa, l'Hôtel Albion. Ça devrait sonner des cloches pour les plus vieux, parce qu'il y a eu beaucoup de cours qui ont été donnés à l'Albion, que je pense, en prenant une bonne bière. C'est là qu'a eu lieu notre première sortie. 47 ans plus tard, je l'ai amené à Sudbury avec moi. La transition n'a pas été toujours facile, mais après 47 ans, nous sommes encore à Sudbury. Sudbury a été très bon pour nous autres. Nous avons eu nos enfants à Sudbury. Une fille, Lisa, qui est à Toronto, qui n'est pas ici ce soir. Michel, d'Ottawa maintenant, qui est ici avec son épouse Alyssa. Et notre plus jeune Alain, de Sudbury, qui est ici également. Et nous avons 7 petits-enfants qui nous gardent occupés comme grand-papa et grand-maman, parce qu'ils sont tous impliqués dans des activités sportives. To the organizing committee, job well done. Like Coach Obilovich always told us, you took care of all the details, and that's why it's a success this evening. It's a success that I will not remember, or I won't forget, I should say, for a long, long time. I saw some of the former teammates that I did not recognize off the bat. It took me a little 10, 15 seconds to place them, and then once everything goes. So thank you to the organizing committee, to the selection committee. I appreciate the honor. Merci et bonsoir.